the mission of WISE globally and bringing the mission closer to our fellow Filipinos. So, as been mentioned, we are launching today, and we are very excited to launch WISE Business, which is the WISE account that we launched last year, but more targeted for the use case of MSMEs and with other business users. At WISE, our mission is very simple. It's moving money or money without borders. We build the best way to move and manage the world's money with minimum fees, maximum ease, and at full speed. So that's what we do globally, and we are bringing that to the Philippines. So what we have identified in terms of like the problem globally that we have seen for many, many decades in the past, why are money transfers globally? Why are they slow and why are they expensive? So normally, when you need to send money, let's say from the US to the Philippines, it goes through multiple layers. Say you're sending from a bank in the US, it will go through JP Morgan as the correspondent bank in the US. It will go to Deutsche Bank as the international correspondent. It will go to Standard Chartered as the Asia correspondent. And then we have to disperse it through a local bank partner in the Philippines before it reaches the recipient's account. So imagine at each leg of this journey, it takes half a day or 1 day. And each of these partners take a slice or charge fees. So what we have built in WISE is to just get rid of all of them and do straight. So with WISE, it's going to be faster and a lot cheaper because we have our own WISE US Bank and our own WISE Philippine Bank to do the settlement and the movement of funds, which allows instant and cheap transfers globally, not just to the Philippines. Yeah, so essentially we have built an alternative to correspondent banking. So what are the problems that WISE solves? So first problem, it's slow and expensive and it's hard to do transfers globally. So we created a product that would allow sending money across borders via our app. We also ask customers, like, what are your pain points when you need to send money abroad? Essentially, international bank accounts do not really exist. So what we have built is our own system. It's called the WISE app, which we allow customers to have access to a multi-currency account. So when you open a WISE account, you will, especially for Filipinos, you will not just have access to Philippine peso, but you have access to much more currencies available on the app, which includes US dollar, euros, Great British pounds, Australian dollars, and a lot more. And we have done this by building the infrastructure, which, to be honest, the infrastructure for moving money across borders has not really evolved in decades. So that's what we started building 14 years ago. And we have built this technology, which we also let or allow other financial institutions or banks to work with us, to partner with us, to ride on the infrastructure that we have built, to also allow them to move money across borders. So these are the three main products that WISE has globally. In the Philippines, we have launched the WISE account last year. So I believe a lot of you were in our launch event last year. So the WISE account is the world's most international account for people. As you can see here, you will not just have access to PHP as a Filipino, but you will have access to 40 plus currencies on the app, which allows personal customers to both receive and send money globally. So if I'm a Filipino, for example, I'm a Filipino freelancer, I have a client based in the US, I can easily provide him a copy or my US dollar account detail. I'll give that account detail to my US client. And from his perspective, it's going to be a domestic transfer. And almost instantly, and most of the time instantly, it will arrive in my US dollar account on WISE. We've also launched last year the WISE card for Filipinos, which allows our customers to tap and spend using their WISE account with the WISE card. So that allows you to have access to like 150 plus countries to use your card. We also have this in digital form. So if you have online purchases, you can easily create digital cards on the WISE app. What we are launching today is the same WISE account, but geared towards business customers. So we have added extra features which would facilitate cross-border requirements of businesses more seamless. So the Wise Business is the business account for going global. And the last product which we don't have yet in the Philippines is Wise Platform, but we have it in other markets where we operate. It allows banks and other businesses to integrate with Wise. So we are allowing these financial institutions to use the infrastructure that we have built in the last 14 years to also run their cross-border needs. So our journey. So I'll move now to the journey that we've had in the Philippines. So Wise is registered in the Philippines as Wise Pilipinas. We are regulated by the BSP, by the Central Bank of the Philippines. We have an e-money issuer license. And we launched, as I mentioned, we launched last year the Wise account, which allows personal customers to send, spend, receive, and manage 40 plus currencies all in one place. So I was looking at my Wise account earlier. I haven't, I've been with Wise for almost 2 years now, but I really haven't maximized all the 40 currencies. There's just so many. I think I have 20 currencies on my app. So this is how the app looks like. That's me. That's my face there. Unfortunately, why do I only have 700? The last thing I checked, I have 7,000 pesos in my account. Anyway, but it shows that you have a PHP account. I also have a Singapore dollar account because I normally go to Singapore for work. So whenever I go to Singapore, what I would do is to transfer money from my payroll account with BDO, and then I transfer it to my Wise account, and then I convert from PHP to SGD using the mid-market rate. So the mid-market rate is normally the rate that you see on Google, right? So it's very transparent. What you see on Google will be the rate that would be applicable to you. Once I have SGD, so when I need to spend, say, in 7-Eleven in Orchard Road, for example, I purchase a $1 Singapore drink, or I go to Starbucks, I pay for a $7 cafe latte. I'm going to be charged in Singapore dollars. I wouldn't have to be worried about conversion, right? Because normally, if I use my credit card or my debit card, I will know the rate that will be charged to me when I get my SOA. And with this, at the time of the payment, I know how much will be charged to me. So it's very useful. And also when I need to, sorry. So for example, I need to go to a hawker center to buy chicken rice, right? So a lot of them, in the hawkers, they don't accept cards. So I need to pay in cash. Right? So I need to go to an ATM and withdraw money. And then with the Wise card, we allow our customers, or we give them 2 free ATM withdrawals per month. And we're in the world up to 12,000 PHP. Nice. So that's the power of the Wise card. And when I also make online purchases, for example, last night, I received a letter from eFlow. It's the toll company in Belfast, in Northern Ireland. I was traveling from Belfast to Dublin. I rented a car, and then I got a letter from the toll company asking me to pay them £16 for that toll. It arrived late. It arrived like 2 months later, so I incurred penalties already. So instead of paying £16, I was charged £120. Sadly, but yeah, so I had to pay it, and I had to use my Wise digital card, my card. I gave them my digital card credentials, my number, my CVC, and the payment went through. I converted first from PHP to GBP, and then the payment was done in GBP. Lesson learned: next time, with your car rental, let them pay for the toll, not wait for the letter. But then, I won't digress further. Yeah, so for the Wise account, we offer account details in all of these major currencies, 10 plus currencies. So what this essentially means is for both personal and business customers, we allow our Filipino-based customers to open, say, I open Singapore dollar, I open an SGD account detail. We will give you an account detail that you could give your Singapore client or Singapore friend. And from his or her point of view, when you need to receive in Singapore dollars, it will just have to be a local transfer from that person. So for example, since we're here is Singaporean, she would have access to a DBS account in Singapore. And I would like to get money from Singapore. So what I would do is I will generate Singapore dollar account detail. I will give my account number or account detail to Sinner. Then Sinner will go to DBS, her account in DBS, do a local transfer via direct fast. It's going to be instant, normally free, from her perspective. Once she does that transfer, it's going to be reflected instantly on my Singapore dollar account here. So it skips a lot of those legs in the transfer process. Yeah, and as I mentioned, like we allow sending money to 140 plus currencies at lightning speed. Currently, about 70% of our transfers are instant globally. So that means transferring money in less than 20 seconds. And the Wise card can be used in 160 plus countries. And then, since last year, we've also launched, we are the first non-bank digital international company that became integrated with both InstaPay and PesoNet. So this shows you the mission of Wise to really drive things faster and at a much cheaper pace, because with our integration with InstaPay and PesoNet, we were able to drive down costs for our Philippine customers. And thanks to our friends here at PSA, last June, this year we were integrated to E-Verify, which allows our Philippine customers to submit their PhilSys ID to seamlessly do our KYC and have their Wise account. What's also very impressive is that in 2024, the BSP reported that we received 38.4 billion US dollars in terms of money being received as personal remittances. And last year, Wise covered 12% of that. So it shows that Filipinos really have this. While Filipinos know that they can receive money faster and at a much cheaper cost, they will learn more about Wise and they will use Wise to send money to the Philippines. So moving on to the main topic of what we are doing today, which is launching the Wise business account for Filipinos. As mentioned by Ase Chris, we have about 99.5% of registered businesses as MSMEs, and they are the backbone of the Philippine economy. However, most of them face hurdles in cross-border payments, such as cost, complexity of international payments, dashing their hopes of global expansion. If I'm an MSME and I would like to create a US dollar bank account, I would have to go to a bank, submit documents in person, print documents, put a deposit of at least, I think, $100 US. It depends on the bank. To open an account and have that money as a maintaining balance. So we've done our research to try to understand what are the pain points of this business customers, so that we can better, which Numer will explain later. We have designed this Wise business product specific for the use case of Philippine customers. So we have asked them, in the next 6 months, how do you expect the volume of your cross-border transactions to change? 2/3 of them said it will increase. And then we also asked them what are their pain points when they do cross-border transactions. 41% of them said it takes more than 1 day, so it's slow. And then 1/3 of them, 1 out of 3, said that what's sad is only 1/3 or 35% of them realized that there was a markup on the exchange rate. So when you go to a bank or to another a company which allows sending money, you would normally see a buy and sell rate, and only 1/3 of them know that there's this markup on the mid-market rate. Which is why we are proud to say that we always try to bring market rate to our customers. So essentially, that is the hidden fee that we are trying to avoid for our customers in the Philippines. And 52% because of this, they basically experience increased workload on finance and accounting staff. But what I would like to leave you with after the end of this chat is, based on our study, about 40 billion PHP or 40 billion Philippine pesos are being lost by businesses on exchange rate markups because they don't have any other choice. And this 40 billion pesos could have easily been used by the businesses to hire people, to put money into their capital, and really grow their business. So this is what we would like to bring to Philippines, is to really save on these hidden fees by giving this education to them. And with that, I turn you over to my colleague Numer to talk more about what the product is, how the product works.